On the edge of the Badlands in eastern Montana, the secrets are as big as the sky. These secrets are 75 million years old, and they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Dutchman Renee Vanderfeld is a treasure hunter, and he's looking for these secrets.
We're near Badger Creek, east of Browning right now, in what is called the Two Medicine Formation. That's the geological formation that we're looking at. And our quarry is right down at the bottom of this hill. There could be more than one skeleton, we are not entirely sure. We found bone over there. There's more bone around the corner to the right here. So there's quite a bit of material found here.
These relics are all that remain of the dinosaurs that once called this land home.
My dad's a treasure hunter. It started in about 1966. We moved to Western Canada, and I don't quite remember. We made a trip out to Drumheller, Alberta.
Just that year, the town of Drumheller had put out a booklet that says, "Come to the valley where the dinosaur roamed."
And my dad was immediately hooked on the whole dinosaur thing. I don't know if it was the romance of it, but he took us out just about every weekend to go fossil hunting. He was looking for the new fossil site. We traveled and spent all our summers digging for fossils.
I found the first skeleton in '67. And here was the tail section of the animal laying on one vertebra behind the other. It looked as if the animal was trying to climb back out of the earth. After that happens to you, you're touched, and after that I couldn't leave it alone anymore, of course.
He's always been like that. He's always leading the expedition in, yeah.
Those expeditions, spanning 30 years, led Renee to quit his job managing hotels and to form a dinosaur hunting company called Canada Fossils Limited.
Right now we're going to look around a little bit, and we are going to identify, if we can, the bones that we have dug out so far. This is a new quarry. We want to establish what kind of species we have. If we can identify it by species, it would be nice, but we probably haven't got enough material yet. And we want to also see whether we should dig towards the left, towards the right, deeper in, or where we are bound to find more of the skeleton.
Renee and his crew have located a rich site deep on the Blackfoot Reservation, a remote spot once home to thousands of dinosaurs, a spot that is now the final resting place for some of the once great animals.
Yeah, the first time that you find a skeleton, the first skeleton in particular, you think, wow, this is something that is never going to happen to me again in my whole life. Then you find the second and the third maybe, if you're lucky. But that feeling that you get from the rush that you get from finding that first skeleton, it's like somebody in the Olympics jumping higher than everybody else and getting a gold medal. It's that kind of feeling, I'm sure.
Is that a tibia, Dave?
It isn't long before paleontologist Dave Trexler uncovers the first hint of what lays below.
Distal end of a tibia here. We have distal end of a humerus here. This was a duck-billed dinosaur. The size of the bones indicate that it was about between 10 and 14 feet long.
Quickly, the Montana hillside begins to reveal its prehistoric treasures.
Yeah, Dorothy's got something there. What have you got, Dorothy?
Probably a partial rib.
Yet often the pieces are small. Sometimes thousands of pieces are needed to assemble a single skeleton. Some of these creatures stood over 40 feet tall, with jaws big enough to swallow a human whole.
Okay. We dig fossils and sell them, but we do it in order to make a profit, and we also do it because there is a demand. Museums don't all have the opportunity to come to Alberta or to Montana to dig for dinosaurs, and they have a need of certain fossils for their research or for their displays. And we fill that need.
Canada Fossils Limited has skeletons in some of the finest museum collections in the world. One of the institutions they work closely with is Alberta's Royal Tyrrell Museum.
Renee Vanderfeld is somebody I was very familiar with right from the time I started working in Alberta about 20 years ago. He's not only got good information on individual animals, but good information on populations of animals. And this helps us not only in terms of finding fine specimens, but good information on those specimens.
Of the 30,000 dinosaur species thought to have existed, only 792 have ever been found. And Canada Fossils Limited has discovered more than a few of them.
Specimens like this, they're very hard to evaluate because in many cases they're irreplaceable, and so for us it has to be based largely on the amount of manpower that's put into preparing a specimen like this and collecting it. So something like this would probably be $50,000 to $75,000 worth, easy.
A rare and expensive treasure indeed. Once standing, these skeletons take on an eerie presence and an incredible value.
An adult duckbill like this one is $345,000. One of the fossils that we find are ammonites that we find in southern Alberta. They come out like this. They're always encased in rock, and we have to clean them up, work the ammonite out of the rock, and then we polish them and we lacquer them, and you get the end result like this. And they have sold for as much as $30,000 and $35,000 in Tokyo.
Monetary value aside, it's the sheer beauty and the hunt for these amazing treasures that keep Renee Vanderfeld and Dave Trexler fascinated with their work.
It's a treasure hunt like the treasure hunt that the scientists do learning about the Mayans or the Egyptians. It's a part of our history that we know very, very little about, and the only clues that we have to that history are what you see buried here in the ground. These Badlands probably were eroded out no more than 10,000 years ago, and 5,000 years from now they'll mostly be gone. So being exactly at the right place at the right time and being able to see something like this, I think, is just really neat.
As another dig day comes to an end, Renee and his crew climb in their trucks for an hour's ride back to the paved road. And tonight, the dinosaurs will sleep in the Badlands, waiting just a little bit longer to see the light of day.